All right, welcome traders. Today is Thursday, April 20th, and I want to just do a quick review of what's happening in our crypto world. As usual, we will start with the dollar. You guys know my projections from the last few videos. We are currently forming this very ominous head and shoulders pattern on the charts here. So here's the left shoulder. You guys can see a great big old head and right shoulder. Sometimes these right shoulders don't immediately go through the neckline because that neckline does offer big support. That comes all the way from 1984. Just realized something. That is kind of a weird date to come from. But anyways, that is where that now support is coming from, way back in 1984. So again, I don't anticipate we just break right through that. And what I projected is that we bounce off of that support. Didn't quite reach it. But again, that line here in the bottom might not be totally accurate. It is coming all the way from 1984. So we could be a little bit off there and essentially have hit some kind of a support down there. It's just this whole area. All right, and then I have this descending red trend line. It looks like as of today we started above that and we are right on the line right now. But again, guys, break above that and we will continue strength in the dollar. Of course, strength in the dollar usually means weakness on the markets. And if we correlate that along with the VIX, which goes up at the same time, then most certainly we will have weakness in the markets. You can see the VIX is at the bottom of a descending trend line here in this triangle that I have. We already broke out of this triangle once, doesn't mean we won't break out of it again. And I can see here that we have some sort of a descending wedge right here. So again, that is a bullish sign for the VIX. And that could pop us to the top of that triangle again. So VIX going up along with the dollar going up means market going down. All right, so let's see where is the market. All right, US 500 here. You can see we are hitting our heads against this macro uptrend. So this all totally makes sense. All right, so we should see in the next week or two a little bit of a descent in the market. I don't know how far down we go. Maybe we test that 200-day, which is flowing up here. Maybe we test the 50-day. I would guess 200 if I had to. But so we should see a little bit of a retraction in the market. This does not mean, however, that we are not on our way to the blow-off top. All right. I speculated long ago, many moons ago, that once we broke down below this macro uptrend again, that we would continue an up and down pattern, but overall forming a channel that is on its way up. All right, so we're going to probably come down here and form some sort of a bottom trend line, and that will make a nice channel for us to follow on the way to our blow off top. All right, so all of this spills over into the crypto space, and that is essentially why I have been calling for pullback in Bitcoin. Well, that combined with the fact that our BTC dominance chart is showing us its time. All right, so wait for the chart to load here. We have a red area and an orange area. The orange area we have barely gotten into the last couple of years. But when we poked our heads into that orange area, it was time for us to descend. So I am going off of the historical past, and that doesn't always mean that predicts the future. But you can see in this case, it has once again. We got into that orange area, and I knew it was time for Bitcoin dominance to descend. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Bitcoin itself is going to descend. It just means that altcoins will hold stronger than Bitcoin at this point in time. All right, and so we hit our heads on the top of that, which I have drawn here pretty precisely. And look at that, the wick up goes right into that top line that I have. And descended immediately. 6 days in a row. 6 days in a row. We came down and hit our, came into support here, right at 47%, and bounced a little bit. It looks like we're, forming some sort of a bear flag, and we'll continue our descent on Bitcoin dominance. All right, so again, that doesn't necessarily mean Bitcoin is coming down itself. It just means that alts will generally hold a bit stronger than Bitcoin. So let's see what Bitcoin is doing. All right, Bitcoin came up into this purple line of resistance. Where does that come from, guys? All right, so I've shown this before. We can take this all the way back to January of 2021. All right, so that's over 2 years. This area has provided either support. In this case over here, it was lots of support again, came below this and then couldn't get back above it, so it was resistance here and acting as resistance again in this case here. Now, the reason why I'm expecting kind of a pullback here is not just because of this resistance area, which we seem to have managed to struggle through. The bears have struggled through and now are coming down again, but because I do expect this neckline retest. What is the neckline from? The neckline is this, see these pink curves here? That is a cup and handle pattern, and the neckline is precisely this purple level of support / resistance. You can see that area is significant because when we did break through, look at how big this particular candle was. All right, that's showing us the market sees that and respects that level. All right, so I do expect us to still come down, and possibly, actually technically, it would be perfect if we retest that neckline. Now that doesn't always happen. All right, so we could come down and test the 50-day if the bulls are really feeling generous or aggressive. But I do think that during these next couple of weeks, we'll break through that 50-day as well and come down and retest the neckline. I have no reason to change this synopsis. I have been preaching this for the last month, that we will come back down and test the neckline. So I have no reason to change this yet, and really price action is showing me that we are going to continue our descent. All right, I have BTC CME futures up here, and you can see I had this gap which we've already filled. We have one more above it, but before we fill that, you guys know my expectation is that we will come back down and retest the neckline. All right, so I think we come back down before going up and filling that last gap. That last gap will be filled before the end of the year, in my current determination. All right, so with Bitcoin's descent, again, no reason to believe we aren't going to continue descending. And with Bitcoin's collapse and dominance, let's see what our altcoin space is doing. Now, this is total 2, which is all the altcoins, excluding Bitcoin, of course, which is not the altcoin. All right, so we have a neckline retest here of an inverse head and shoulders pattern. And that neckline, some people drew it at this top level of resistance, and some drew this at the bottom level. Right now, we are in this orange area, which is in between the top level and the bottom level. If we break 608 billion in the altcoin market, then this inverse head and shoulders pattern is no longer valid. Something else is going on here, and we'll have to reanalyze the charts, but we can scrap that pattern and look for other clues, and altcoins should follow Bitcoin, which they have been doing in this bear market. I've had discussions with traders on this fact. People are getting all bullish on the altcoins. saying, well, now it's time for the altcoins to play catch up to Bitcoin. Not necessarily. Altcoins are far more risky, and the majority of the market is not so risk tolerant as to enter into altcoin spaces during this time in the market. So we need to be very careful. Now, I will put out a disclaimer here. Should this neckline hold, that is very bullish for altcoins, and we might see quite a bit of a pop here before further descent. All right. I honestly expected altcoins to come up here and hit the 683 billion mark before tumbling, but they're not even strong enough to do that. So I have my suspicion that that neckline may not hold, guys. So be very careful here entering. People have asked me what my conviction is. Well, as long as we stay above that neckline, slightly biased bullish, but very slightly, and actually a true test of my conviction is to look at my public portfolio, my $10,000 challenge portfolio. You can see that I'm all in stablecoins right now, and that has not changed. I mean, should we stay above this neckline, I might take a stab at a altcoin or two, but until then, I'm relatively neutral. I've got to see what this market is showing me, and right now, it's it's right on the fence. Not only is total 2, but if we scroll through some of these altcoins here, which I'm going to do right now, you can see there is weakness being exemplified. Ethereum especially is one of those coins. We have a big old bullish Adam and Eve pattern, and so this whole area could be the neckline between the bottom red level and the top red level. That could be a neckline, and we just failed to break through it at this point in time. So still a very bullish pattern. So before we break through that neckline, we have to ask, well, what is the price action telling us? Now, if you can see, I have a red trend line here, which we broke to the downside of. This exemplifies weakness in Ethereum right now, currently. So I do think we come back down and test this neckline on this particular inverse head and shoulders pattern. All right, that's exemplified by all of these pink curves. This is the left inverse head and shoulders head and right shoulder. All right, so we broke above this neckline. Now we're going to come back down, and that is a classic retest. I would love to see that these patterns are all playing out, guys, and I'm actually happy to see this. This is what a healthy market does. All right, so let's take some clues from our larger cap altcoins / meme coins. Dogecoin was threatening to break out, and that's why I have a question mark right here, because this is a multi-year triangle that we're trying to exit. We keep hitting our heads on that, and then the bulls just find that they don't have enough incentive to break to the top side of that, and so they collapse back down. Now, right now we're sitting on some support here. Doji or Dogecoin could break out at any moment, but because of the weakness in the altcoin market, it decided to come back, take it easy. I imagine it might sit on this support here for another week or two before taking a third attempt to break out of this triangle. So again, we're seeing weakness in the altcoin market. Polkadot, all right, it had a nice run here for a little while. Back down and currently just below the 50-day moving average. I think we at least come back down to the 200-day moving average. And you can see we are forming, and I'll just draw this real quickly, another inverse head and shoulders pattern. All right, this black level being the neckline. All right, so that's a bullish sign longer term, but shorter term, we can expect drawback as the charts are showing us, unless something changes, guys. I'm always open to change with new data. Right now, I'm just reading the charts. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what the charts are showing me. All right. XRP, I called for a pullback, and we are getting that pullback. I said that we can come all the way back to 42 cents. Still believe that. We are forming what looks to be an M pattern here. All right. Now, longer term, again, that is bullish. All right. But shorter term, we can expect to come down to this 42 cents mark. And if we do, that's where I look to re-enter into my XRP trades. All right, so as you guys know, if you've been following me, I've got 6 wins in a row on XRP. We did really good. Our best trade was from 39 or 36 cents all the way up to 50 cents. That was a huge profit, and all the rest were profitable as well. We've done very well trading XRP. So continue to follow me if you want to enter some of these trades. I'm offering them for free right now until I double my $10,000 portfolio challenge. And again, links in the description, except for TradingView. I can't do that. Otherwise, I'll get knocked off the platform. But you guys know where to come to find the link for my public portfolio. All right, LTC, let's see what it did. LTC was very bullish, and again, I had been wanting to enter back down by the 200-day moving average, and it just continued to move up. You can see here, and I haven't got this drawn, but there is some sort of a trend line up, and we broke below that. There is a big area of confluence that acted as support. We broke through that, and it's now coming down. Now may be the time that it comes back and hits that 200-day moving average, at which point I would enter that trade. Solana. I have been calling for a pullback on Solana as well. Let's zoom in here. Why I've been calling for a pullback? Again, another inverse head and shoulders pattern. These are all bullish patterns, guys. But we always like to come back and kiss mama goodbye. Mama is the neckline here on this inverse head and shoulders pattern. And look at this, guys. This is the retest and re-entry area that I'm hoping for. We have to break support at the 50 and 200. That'll be tough, but I think we can do it. You may want to start dollar cost averaging in at around the 50 or 200 day if you're really bullish, don't want to miss out a move here. I may enter 50% there of my trade allotment for Solana at the 50-day or 200-day moving average, depending upon what the price action looks like. But I'm hoping we come back down and test this neckline somewhere down here. All right, Algo showing us the same thing. We broke down big. All right, this is a big break. We broke below this descending trend line. So coming down into areas of levels of support. Again, look at this. We bounced right off of that level. Could come all the way down to this level if the altcoin market continues to retract. 2 minutes left. ADA. All right. Again, another neckline here, guys, on another inverse head and shoulders pattern. Another neckline. Failed to break through this neckline and now coming back. All right, going to probably retest that 200-day moving average. Ape back below a huge area, huge level. All right, so I don't know where this comes back down to. Really, this altcoin could probably come all the way back down. Let's see, what's a good level? Right here, right here. Could come down to $3.50-ish. Audio coming back down to at least test the 50-day. Could test that 200-day. Matic, again, I've been saying I want to enter at the 200-day at least. That's where I start dollar cost averaging in. You can see we have an area of confluence there with a significant level. That'll be tough to break through, but could do it and come hit this May 2021 trend line. So I begin to start dollar cost averaging in here at $1.01 and lower if I was a trading man, which I am. Jasmine, I just have up here for my traders who have been following me. This isn't a cup and handle pattern. We have yet to break this neckline. Got to break this area right here, and then it's going to fly. And ARB is a new one because it's a hot coin right now. Actually, longer term, I entered this trade at $1. It's not a trade, it's a hold at $1.47. I expect to hold this for at least 10x. But we will start maybe trading this as well since it is a hot coin. I've got to mark some patterns. I lost my TradingView people. and I am about to close out the video anyways. That is my update for this week, guys. So hope you all enjoyed. Peace until the next video.